We're going mix Urdu and English, okay?
Done. Perfect.
Start ho gaya.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tahir and you are watching live HR Consultants Pakistan. आज का हमारा सेशन एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सेशन होने जा रहा है. हमारे साथ अवेलेबल हैं लाट्रोब यूनिवर्सिटी के इंटरनेशनल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव और अवेलेबल है हमारे साथ हमारे सीनियर एडमिशन ऑफिसर हमारे लाहौर ऑफिस से मिस्टर कामरान चुगताई, जो कि आज हमारे साथ डिस्कस करेंगे लाट्रोब यूनिवर्सिटी से रिलेटेड वो स्टूडेंट्स स्पेशली जो लाट्रोब यूनिवर्सिटी में इंटरेस्टेड हैं स्टडी के लिए, जानना चाहते हैं स्टडी के लिए. तो आज इस सेशन को जरूर हमारे साथ इन कांटेक्ट रहिए. हमारे साथ आपकी जो भी क्यूरीज है लाइव क्लियर कीजिए. आपको कंप्लीट इन्फॉर्मेशन डिटेल में प्रोवाइड की जाएगी रिलेटेड फी स्ट्रक्चर, आइल्स, जो भी आपकी क्यूरीज है लाइव क्यूरीज को डिस्कस किया जाएगा. तो हमारे साथ कांटेक्ट में रहिए. और मैं अपने दोनों ऑफिसर्स को यहाँ पर वेलकम करना चाहूँगा. बोथ ऑफ यू वेलकम. तो नाउ ओवर टू यू मिस्टर कामरान, प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Thank you very much for such a wonderful introduction. Well, I'm excited to be with Amit today from Latrobe University because in my past experience of over 15 years almost, I found Latrobe to be very friendly, very supporting, and very flexible university for Australia because हमारे जितने भी पाकिस्तानी students होते हैं, they have a lot of concerns regarding their IELTS requirements, regarding their CGPA requirement, education में gap होता है बच्चों का. तो उसके लिए वो बच्चे हमसे जब भी रिकमेंडेशन लेते हैं पर्सनली फ्रॉम आवर ओन एक्सपीरियंस के जी कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी हमें अच्छी लगी, we always recommend Latrobe. So Amit, you win here, right? Secondly, and most importantly, it has two locations. आपको पता है कि हर पाकिस्तानी बच्चे का जानने वाला कोई ना कोई या they want to stay in Sydney or in Melbourne. So apparently Latrobe has both the attractions as well. So further मैं खुद introduction कराऊं Latrobe का out of my excitement. I think I better leave it for Amit to take it from here. So Amit, over to you. Please introduce yourself, your university, locations, and then I'll have some questions coming along the way. So I'll definitely keep sharing it with you.
Thank you so much, Kamran Bhai, for this warm welcome and this wonderful introduction. Well, I would like to first of all say thank you to HR Consultants and Kamran Bhai and Tahir Bhai for giving me this opportunity to talk to both of them and our students and giving me the opportunity of sharing some information about Latrobe University. What I'll do it is that I'll start with giving you a very brief information about who we are, what we are, and then very happy to address to a few of the questions. Now, like Kamran Bhai mentioned, Latrobe University is primarily based out of Victoria. Our main campus is in Melbourne, but we do also have our presence in Sydney. Well, our university, just for information, was formed in 1964, and we were the third university in the state of Victoria to be formed under the Parliaments Act. But our first batch of students started in 1967. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I just want to give you a bit of understanding that our university is more than 50 years old. Well, university has got a very strong vision and a very clear strategic plan, like what Kamran Bhai mentioned about that. We want to make sure that our students are getting the best experience. They are happy. We look after them well. Number two, the very important thing is about employability. So we want to make sure that our students are becoming fully employable and successful in the career. So a lot of efforts are put into this space. The third is our research excellence. So we focus a lot on the research. And last but not the least, we want to be seen as the partner of choice by the industry and community. So we work very closely with the industry, trying to create opportunities for our students to do a lot of engagement when they're studying with Latrobe, and also that builds up their employment opportunities for the future also. Now, just to give you a bit about our ranking, I think that's a very important aspect, and I know a lot of students want to know about university rankings. So Latrobe stands in the top 50 universities in the Asia Pacific region. But if I talk about global rankings, we are ranked in the top 250 universities of the world, and which places us in the top 1% universities of the world. Now, this is as overall, but if I talk about discipline specific, we are rated very, very high. Some disciplines we are rated in the top 50s, top 100, like for example, for sports, whether you talk about business, whether you talk about the archaeology, psychology, hospitality and tourism, and many other areas. And also in terms of employability, we have been doing remarkably well. Within the first 12 months of graduating, more than almost, I would say, 90% of our students do get a job. So we've been doing extremely well. Now, as a university, we offer over 250 courses, and these courses are offered in the area of business, engineering, IT, health, humanities, and education. Uh, and we offer them these courses in undergraduate, postgraduate, and research areas. Now, in terms of flexibility, we make sure that students who can't make it directly to either the bachelor or masters, we do offer them the foundation and diploma courses or the pre-qualifying programs so that they can use those measures or ways to get admission into the degree. I would also like to
For my
inform.
students
Sorry.
to understand.
Right, right. And also, very interestingly, like we do
Because
have,
हमारे पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं,
G.
हमारे जो पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट्स मोस्ट कम फ्रॉम इंटरमीडिएट बैकग्राउंड्स, तो हमारे जो एफएससी वाले बच्चे हैं, जो आईसीएस वाले बच्चे 50-55% तक मार्क्स आते हैं और आइल्स डायरेक्ट डिग्री रिक्वायरमेंट्स कम होते हैं. So they will be definitely accepted in your foundation and diploma routes, which will definitely help them in future as well to gain the time and money, of course. So I'm happy that you have mentioned. So, but I'll get some questions as well on Facebook and also I believe today because of the lockdown. So please continue.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I think it's a very relevant point that you mentioned about that. Sometimes, the students don't score that well in their one day of examination that happens, but then they really have the potential to do well. And we don't want those students to lose the opportunity. So they
Yes.
can still make it through the diploma where they're not putting any extra years of education. They do a diploma and they start their bachelor degrees. And the diplomas do give them a full accreditation to bachelor degree. So, एक साल diploma किया, get admission to the second year of the bachelor degree, that option is available. And even for masters, sometimes, for whatever personal reasons, for some diversions, what happens is students sort of get diverted from studies, but then they realize after doing the bachelor that I want to do better in my career. मुझे वापस masters करना है. I want to do something which is good for me. And then they look for maybe something like a bridging program, which can help them to get into masters. So keeping that in mind, we would thought,
Nice.
okay, let's bring in a pathway. We call it as a pre-qualifying program, a enabling program, which helps them to start the masters. And it's a short program of 12 weeks. Do a 12
Yeah.
weeks program,
EQP.
build the foundation, get into your masters, and then start doing well in your masters again. So those are opportunities. They completely understand that it's so very important.
Yeah.
And also, it's a good opportunity because you rightly
So
mentioned, else come here. Sorry, you're saying something, Kamal bhai.
yeah. So the thing is, those students from a different academic background, they can definitely switch after joining just a 12 weeks program. तो पाकिस्तानी students अगर आप लोग देख रहे हैं और लोगों को ये fear है कि जी मैंने engineering किया है तो मैं उसमें जाना चाहता हूँ, या मैंने business किया है और मैं engineering में जाना चाहता हूँ, medicine या social sciences जो कि technically 3 महीने का बनता है. And then switch your career. You can switch your degree. Let's say if you didn't do well in your bachelor degree and you want to do a different master's degree, there's definite helpful and flexible option for
Oh,
12 weeks
absolutely. Absolutely.
only. So thank you, Amit, that you brought it up as well.
Sure. In fact, what Latrobe has also done it is that a lot of our masters have got options for cognate and non-cognate students. So cognate means you have relevant background, and non-cognate means they're from different background, but they want to switch to a different career. So what we do it is we give that sort of flexibility and difference in subjects that they can do to start the degree. Like they do additional subjects, and they can still manage to switch from one discipline to another discipline. So we have such options available for students, and that's very common in today's world. Like we have heard from many experts that in today's world, uh, a normal professional changes at least 12 jobs in his career. Like when I say 12 jobs, and they move to different disciplines, or different areas. So that's very common. That's happening now in today's world. And also people want to acquire multiple skills. So someone like an engineer comes up and says, listen, I want to do something in management. I like to do something in business analytics. So they don't have to get disheartened. They have the opportunity of switching from one discipline to another.
Nice, very nice. Thank you very much. This is one of the most important points. Okay, so we have spoken about universities, degrees, and do you mind sharing with me a little bit of about your entry requirements for undergraduate diploma, foundation, and then this master qualifying program? And do you accept Pakistani all universities like section 1, 2, and 3 universities? ये भी थोड़ा सा mention कर दें क्योंकि हमारे students को काफी सवालात होते हैं. So this will help them do for them.
Certainly. हम लोग section 1, section 2, section 3 तीनों universities accept करते हैं. The only thing is that the admission requirements vary a little. 1 and 2 are pretty identical. So 1 and 2, there's no much problem. Now what happens is Australia has got an accreditation body. The ones who do accreditation and see that whether a qualification offered overseas by another university in another country is equivalent to Australian qualification or not. Now we strictly follow that, but what we do it is that sometimes the NUSA is sort of a bit outdated, and because NUSA only gets updated in 5 years, sometimes even longer. So what we do it is that we continue to follow NUSA and NERIC also, which is another accreditation body. So we follow both. If a qualification is recognized by either NERIC or by NUSA, we are absolutely okay with that, number one. Number two, section 3, the point that Kamran, you mentioned, it's a very valid point. We do accept section 3 university students, but a little higher requirements. Just say for most of section 1 and 2, we can take students with a 55, 60, some of the courses with even 50. But for section 3, we actually ask for a 70%. So its requirement is a little higher, but it's not a no for them.
But fair enough. That's a brilliant news. Thank you very much. अब आते हैं हम लोग IELTS की तरफ. What are the requirements?
Right.
So programs. Minimum भी बता ले ज़्यादा होता है. तो कहते हैं कि जी मैं minimum बता दें.
Right. I won't give you a straight answer on that. I'll tell you why. Because what happens is that our English language policy doesn't only look at IELTS. We look at multiple factors before we say whether a student is acceptable or not acceptable. So sometimes if the question that you asked, that would 6.5 be a compulsory requirement for a master or a 6 for a bachelor? The answer is no. There are multiple things on the basis of which you can meet the university English language requirements. So I strongly encourage students to please submit their applications and do discuss with us about whether you meet your English language requirements, which we've set up for the admission at the university, which can be based on what section university are you from? Are you from 1 or 2? Was English your medium of instruction? Are you a Cambridge student? Have you done the O levels and A levels? So have you stayed from another country maybe? So there are multiple factors. It's not a clear no, because sometimes someone come and say, I've got a 6.5, but a 5.5 in one of the section. Would I be acceptable? Depends on the other parts. If you're meeting our requirements based on some other factor, we'll definitely accept you. So please do not make a judgment without actually sending us your all documents for us to have a quick look at it and confirm you that if you are okay to be accepted directly into the university.
Great news. The thing is that with this statement, I can give confidence to all my Pakistani students who are looking for admission and they have not scored well in their IELTS. So even in one component, there is a window. Amit just said there's a window, where they can be considered on the basis of their English proficiency from their university, or they will be considered from the O levels background, A levels background, if they are graduating from section 1 or 2 university. So their English medium instructions can also be considered. So guys, there is a window.
Absolutely. And more importantly, that we don't want you to be judged on just a one-day examination. Your overall performance and other factors are very important for us to look at before we say yes or no, or you need to go for something alternative in terms of additional English language training programs.
Thank you very much, Amit. That was really helpful. Now, we're coming back to the part where the admission comes and the GTE and the financial requirements come. Some students also have these questions that, we might need long bank statements and financial documents. वो मैं अपना पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस अपने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ शेयर करता चलूं फॉर लाट्रोब यूनिवर्सिटी की जो एडमिशन टीम है, they are only a click away. We contact with them every day through WhatsApp. हम वो emails वाला और वो लंबा जो एक procedure होता है, we don't follow that now anymore. Since the COVID, वैसे भी we were working from home, we got more closer to all the universities. So Latrobe से हमें फायदा ये है कि all their team is with us in contact 24/7 despite of the time, right? So there's no time difference as well. So whoever wants to ask any questions regarding their admission or quick admission, Latrobe is the quick option. GTE की बात है, IELTS की बात है, bank statement की बात है, finances की बात है, any concerns you have, we can get those rectified within 24 hours. ये मैं आपको बहुत ज़्यादा कह रहा हूँ. 24 hours. Basically, I'm making myself, to be on the safer side if my internet is not working properly. Otherwise, Latrobe answers in few minutes. Am I right, Amit?
Absolutely, Kamran bhai. You're absolutely right that we try our best to make sure that we're looking after our partners, the students in the best possible way. So yes, please feel free to contact us for any information you need, and we'll make sure that we get back to our partners or our students to the earliest. And that was the reason, one of the reason I mentioned that we've got a strong strategic plan. First thing is outstanding experience. And I think the student experience starts with their initial engagement. If they are getting the full information, they can make more informative decision. That's when they feel happy. So we want to make sure that our students are getting all information and they're making the full informed, well-informed decision.
Thank you very much. Right. I think these were the basic questions and concerns which I had in mind. One last point I would like to ask you about the COVID situation and the borders reopening, which is one of the biggest concern of every student, every parent, everybody. That,
Absolutely.
when is Scott Morrison allowing them to come to Australia?
I can give you a little bit of update in terms of the situation at the moment, and I'll start with maybe more emphasizing on Victoria. But overall, in Australia, the situation of COVID looks very much under control. Australia is not seeing much cases, almost nothing actually, in terms of the new fresh cases of COVID coming up. In fact, if I particularly talk about Victoria, state of Victoria, where the Melbourne is, it's been exactly a week now that there is not even a single fresh case which has come up in Victoria of COVID-19. So situation looks very, very comforting at the moment. Now, what the Prime Minister, Mr. Scott Morrison, made the announcement just about a couple of days back that he would now like to start with bringing the citizens who are stuck outside Australia back to the country. And he wants to do it as soon as possible in the next few couple of months. So that will be the first thing. And I think the whole Australia, whether it's the Prime Minister, the state governments, universities, we do value the international students a lot because they're bringing so much to the country, whether it's the cultural richness, whether it's the learning opportunities for people. So there's so much for us to gain. And we're very keen to bring the international students back again. But for us, their safety is very, very important. We don't want them to come to Australia and then get stuck. That we don't want to see a situation which has happened in many other countries where COVID has sort of reoccurred or there's a new phase has come up. So I think Australia is like taking a bit more cautious approach. I'm more confident about July that the previous sort of format of education which is happening on the campus would most likely happen from the later half of the year, July intake. February is definitely online. So the students who want to start in February can start their courses doing a few subjects online, and then they can come to Australia and continue their education from the campus from that point. So my message generally to the students and my advice to the student is that please do not put gaps. Means sitting at home is not a good option for anyone, whether it's a professional, whether it's studies. It's important for us to stay busy, but to learn. So you should start your studies, maybe start with few subjects, learn, get busy, engage with academics, learn the student culture,
Yeah.
make friends. So that's a great way of starting. And as soon as the borders open up, come down and continue your education. Good part is
Yeah.
that Australian government recognizes the online education when it comes down to the post-study work rights. So you don't even have to worry that
Yeah.
what if I do some part of my degree like a semester online, would that be counted for my post-study work rights? And the answer is yes. The only thing that they want
Yes.
is that you should apply for your visa and obtain a visa before you start online. So it's a great time for you to start your process for the February intake. Start working on your financial documents, your GT requirements to make sure that everything is in order. You apply for your visa and start your studies. And as soon as the borders open up, you're ready. Your visa is in your hand. Start your studies. One thing I think which is very, very
That's,
important that a lot of students ask us is about
yes.
scholarships. And I'm sure Kamran and I
Yeah,
would say,
that's one last point. Everyone wants scholarships nowadays. So give us a lot of money so we can, join the university right away.
absolutely. Absolutely. No, I fully agree. I think the students need that support. More than support, I
The
think,
hardships, these are hard times for everybody, and they
absolutely.
need some from universities as well. And there are some good students,
Yes.
some who are deserving. So there should be some exceptional favor to students as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I completely agree with you, Kamran Bhai, in terms of that it's a hard time. The students want to have some financial support. And also, I strongly believe, I've always been believed, it's not only the COVID situation, but I'm a strong believer that the students who have done well should be rewarded. So they should be given
Definitely
scholarships.
to keep them motivated.
Absolutely. So that they can celebrate their hard work and success that they have put in the past. So what we've done it is that now we've got a variety of scholarships. We have launched a scholarship which is called the South Asia Scholarship, which goes up to 30%. So the students can actually avail a slab of 20, 25, or 30% of the scholarship on the entire duration of the program, including the online education, and they're academic based. So primarily starting with the 55%, which is very average, I think, very reasonable. 55 to someone who has scored less than 70 gets a 20% flat scholarship. 70 to 75 percent scorer would get a 25% scholarship, and someone who's got above 75 would be entitled for a 30% scholarship. What we
Nice.
do is that once we offer that scholarship, there is no change to it. So many times the common question that students ask is that what if do I have to maintain the same 70% to maintain the scholarship or the same 75% to maintain the scholarship? And the answer is no. Once we have given you a
Okay.
scholarship based on your previous education, that
That's
stays
yours.
on for the entire assured, absolutely. And
Cool.
once we're doing early acceptance, for example, if you accept your offer for February before the 29th of January, you get entitled for an extra 5% discount on your first tuition fee. And you can club these two together. So that's the other benefit they can look at. So for example, someone has got a 30%, plus they make an acceptance before 29th of January, it makes it 35% for the first year. And then subsequent, it goes on to 30%. So they can avail that advantage.
Year
The
goes on
other,
to 30%. So for the
yes,
first whole year, for the both semesters, the student will get extra 5%.
that's right. Absolutely. Absolutely, Kamran Bhai. And what we've also done it is that there's an Australian government initiative for universities who have got a regional campus. Now, we have got a regional presence in a city called Bendigo, very, very popular. Many students have heard about it because it's known as the gold mine city, very big for tourism, very big for engineering, also a big financial hub for the country. So we've got a campus in Bendigo, and the students who are planning to come down to Bendigo can also avail a scholarship by the Australian government called the Destination Australia Scholarship, which is worth $15,000 per
Mhm.
annum. So if they're coming down, for example, for a 4-year bachelor degree, let's say engineering degree, they get 15,000 each year, which is like a quite a substantial saving for them. And good thing is that regional campuses have got the additional benefit of post-study work rights launched by
Yeah.
the government also. So they avail the post-study work rights, extra years of work opportunities, and they're getting that scholarship opportunity also. And the students who've got above 70% are entitled for it.
Nice.
So the students have that opportunity also to avail the Destination Australia Scholarship.
Which disciplines are offered in that campus? Which disciplines?
Sorry, my apology, I missed
Home
it.
engineering?
No, all courses. Any course that they're
I said
doing at
all
Bendigo,
courses.
yeah, all courses. They're entitled for that if they got above 70%.
Okay, nice. Thank you very much. That's very healthy and very helpful. I think that's enough for now. Thank you very much, Amit. Your session was very brief and very informative. I'm sure that my students who are listening to it, they would be excited to know the news. And if somebody who doesn't, they will be talking to Tahir. So thank you very much, Amit, from my end. Thank you very much, Tahir. And over to you, Tahir.
Yes.
If you have to leave a message to your students, please feel free.
Sure. मैं अपने व्यूअर्स से यहाँ पर अपने स्टूडेंट्स से यही कहना चाहूँगा, पर डेफिनेटली आप लोगों ने आज ये सेशन सुना, बहुत इंटरेक्टिव सेशन रहा मिस्टर अमित की तरफ से और मिस्टर कामरान की तरफ से। बहुत सी चीज़ों को डिस्कस किया गया रिलेटेड आइल्स, फी स्ट्रक्चर, एंट्री रिक्वायरमेंट, हर तरह से चीज़ों को डिस्कस किया गया। आई होप कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स ने अंडरस्टैंड किया होगा चीज़ों को, या फिर उसके अलावा अगर आप समझते हैं हमारे व्यूअर्स के यहाँ पर अगर आप किसी चीज़ को अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर सके तो आप हम मिस्टर कामरान से कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। मैं मिस्टर कामरान का कांटेक्ट आपको बता देता हूँ, 032257578007। आप एनी टाइम इनको कॉल कर सकते हैं, व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हैं, इंशाल्लाह आपको कांटेक्ट किया जाएगा, आपकी जो भी क्यूरीज हैं क्लियर की जाएंगी। इसके अलावा आपने सुना कि ऑनलाइन क्लासेस फेब में स्टार्ट हो रही हैं, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस इंशाल्लाह जुलाई में कैंपस में क्लासेस होगी इंशाल्लाह। और जैसा कि आपने सुना है कि मिस्टर अमित ने बताया कि ऑल ओवर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी कंट्रोल हो चुका है और इंशाल्लाह सून इंशाल्लाह जो है ट्रैवल होगा इंशाल्लाह। तो वो स्टूडेंट जो स्पेशली
दुनिया में भी क्लियर होगा
जी इंशाल्लाह, और वो स्टूडेंट स्पेशली जो लाट्रोब यूनिवर्सिटी में जाना चाह रहे हैं वो फौरन से मिस्टर कामरान को कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स को व्हाट्सएप कीजिए, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स को व्हाट्सएप कीजिए। डॉक्यूमेंट्स व्हाट्सएप करने का आपका पर्पस ये होगा कि मिस्टर कामरान आपके डॉक्यूमेंट्स देखेंगे, एनालिसिस करेंगे, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आपका ऑन स्पॉट एप्लीकेशन भी प्लेस करेंगे, आपको इन डिटेल एडमिशन के प्रोसेस के बारे में भी बताएंगे। तो अपना जो ऑलरेडी आप टाइम वेस्ट कर चुके हैं तो अपना टाइम वेस्ट किए बगैर कमिंग इनटेक के लिए अप्लाई कीजिए फौरन से मिस्टर कामरान के नंबर पर। मैं रिपीट करूं, मिस्टर कामरान का नंबर 032257578007। व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स, या मिस्टर कामरान से अगर आप फेस टू फेस मिलना चाहते हैं तो मिस्टर कामरान अवेलेबल होते हैं हमारे लाहौर DHA ऑफिस में, आप मिल सकते हैं जाके। लेकिन जाने से पहले अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स लाजमी साथ लेकर जाइए। अगर आप डॉक्यूमेंट्स नहीं लेकर जाएंगे तो एडमिशन ऑफिसर भी ब्लैंक है और आप खुद भी ब्लैंक है, क्योंकि जब तक आपके पास डॉक्यूमेंट्स होंगे हम आपको कुछ भी नहीं बता सकते कि हम क्या ऑप्शंस दे सकते हैं, किस कोर्स में ऑप्शन दे सकते हैं या क्या बता सकते हैं। तो अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स लाजमी साथ लेकर जाइए। तो मैं यहाँ पर अपने जो है हमारे ऑफिसर्स मिस्टर अमित, थैंक यू सो मच, स्पेशली थैंक यू मिस्टर अमित, आपने हमें ज्वाइन किया और बहुत इंटरेक्टिव सेशन रहा आपके साथ। मिस्टर कामरान थैंक यू टू यू कि आप दोनों ने बहुत जबरदस्त डिस्कशन की है और आई होप हमारे स्टूडेंट ने अंडरस्टैंड किया होगा। तो जाने से पहले मिस्टर अमित आपको हमारे व्यूअर्स को कोई लास्ट मैसेज देना चाहेंगे प्लीज?
मेरा मैसेज है कि
स्कॉलरशिप अवार्ड करते जाओ।
Certainly. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy. Plus, अगर आपको कोई information चाहिए, feel free to contact me. जैसे मैंने कहा और ताहिर भाई ने भी कहा, please don't waste your time. आप शुरू कीजिए अपना सोचना कि अब आप क्या करना चाहते हैं। फरवरी के लिए आपके पास टाइम है, अभी भी you have got about 4 months. So this is the right time that you should contact HR consultants and start your process. Kamran Bhai has given his number also, so you can contact him on that number. And if there's any your particular case that you want to discuss with us also, we'll be very happy to have a one-on-one interaction with you. So I wish you all the best. Stay safe and keep look after your family also.
थैंक यू जी। मिस्टर कामरान आप कोई लास्ट मैसेज देना चाहेंगे हमारे व्यूअर्स को जाने से पहले?
जी थैंक यू, शुक्रिया कि आप लोगों ने टाइम निकाला इन दिनों में। पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट्स, आपको पता है कि बायोमेट्रिक्स की अपॉइंटमेंट्स ओपन है, वीजा प्रोसेसिंग शुरू हो चुकी है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया के वीजे लग रहे हैं। सबसे बड़ा कंसर्न था पेरेंट्स चीज का सबका कि जी वीजे कब से शुरू होंगे। तो लाहौर, इस्लामाबाद, मुजफ्फराबाद, मीरपुर में इस वक्त बायोमेट्रिक्स की अपॉइंटमेंट ओपन है। आप अपना ऑस्ट्रेलिया का वीजा अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। अप्लाई करने का मतलब यही है कि उनकी गवर्नमेंट ने उन लोगों को पहले एंट्री देनी है जिन लोगों ने पहले अप्लाई किया, फर्स्ट कम। सो whoever is waiting to study in Australia, this is the best time to apply for your admission, क्योंकि यूनिवर्सिटी स्कॉलरशिप दे रही है, गवर्नमेंट वीजा प्रोसेसिंग कर रही है किस दिन आपने जहाज पे चढ़ना। So my final message to you is apply for your visa, apply for your admission right away. Stay home, stay safe. These last
Thank you so much once again both of you. تو میں آج کے اپنا سیشن یہیں پر ہمارا اینڈ کرنا چاہوں گا. کوئی بھی کیوری ہو میں ایک بار پھر سے مسٹر کامران کا نمبر ریپیٹ کر رہا ہوں 0322575780 پر کانٹیکٹ کیجیے. آج کا ہمارا سیشن یہیں پر اینڈ کرنا چاہوں گا. اپنا خیال رکھیے گا. اللہ حافظ. تھینک یو.
خدا حافظ.
Allah.